If I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world, and that you are watching this because you have heard the call.
There's no background music, Scott.
We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds.
Well, hello, everybody. I just learned that we had a little bit of a technical glitch there. So we are going to start this all over again. So you guys get the whole thing, including music and all that. So let's try this again.
What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Good evening, everybody, and happy Valentine's week. Welcome to the Awakening World, our Saturday night edition. I'm Love Coach Scott Gatamas. And despite all those times that I've started that video, I do apologize for forgetting to turn on the share sound. So thank you, Omashar, for always coming to my rescue. Thank God for Omashar. And thank God for all of you who are watching. We've got a really beautiful show tonight. Of course, you know, this is the Global Peace Tribe. This is the Awakening World. And tonight's show is going to go in depth into ways that we can actually create more awakening in our life. What does that really look like? How do we embrace our path forward? And I have a wonderful, wonderful co-host. You know, most of my co-hosts tend to be beautiful women, if you haven't noticed. But today it is a beautiful man. And it's my brother, John Raymer, who's my co-host today. And John he started with one magic canoe, but he's got a lot of magic canoes now going along with him. There he is. He's got the paddle and the little bird.
Yes, and he's married to a beautiful woman.
Well, there we might as well bring her on because she's right here. There she is.
Gosh. She's right in the awakening, right there. You can see it.
Absolutely. Well, Summer Joy is with us along with John. And we also
all beautiful. All beautiful.
Thank you.
Love you, Scott. You and your community and our community. It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing. Well, let me show people who else are going to be with us. And then, John, I want you to talk a little bit about the theme for tonight. We already talked about him, but there he is, our wonderful, magnificent Omashar, who makes all things happen and will be providing us with some music tonight. Kurt Kruger is losing his Global Peace Tribe virginity tonight. He is, this is his first appearance on the show as a presenter, and he's going to be leading our meditation tonight. So welcome, Kurt. And coming back is Anasuya Hallelujah. And we love her. And so it's great to have her back with us. And a couple of the amazing colleagues that work with John, Harry, and Dr. Tamsin. And so we're all going to be working with you tonight. And we have a very special guest, Karen Stewart, who I just learned has watched every single Saturday night show that we've done, going all the way back to April of 2020. She's only missed 2 of them. And so Karen is going to be with us tonight as part of our celebration of Martin Luther King. So we've got a really wonderful, wonderful show. And there is all of you, our audience, including Diara, who helped coordinate Karen's appearance tonight. So welcome, everybody. It's great to have you with us. And I'm going to go to you, John, for a moment. What are we going to be doing tonight?
Well, you were one of the partners in what we've just did last weekend for 3 days, Awakening to Humanity's Sacred Mission. This was amazing, and I don't know if you were there or if you weren't there. I'm going to speak as if you weren't, but I hope you were, and you could still go back and see what happened. But Ben Bowler from Unity Earth, moved by Irvin Laszlo's call to our sacred mission. We said, you know what? It's so serious right now. Sure, we can do more online events, but we need to break some new ground. We really do need that awakening and remembering. And it happened. I'm privileged to tell you that I kind of got to play the role of pushing the boundaries. So not only were there great visionary voices, but there were engagement sessions. And we did this kind of reflective, real-time feedback and surveys. And I got stuff to show you about who we are. It's like a mirror. I can't wait for you to see. And we've got 2 sessions tomorrow, 10 a.m. ET, talking Eastern time, and 6 p.m., where we're coming forward. We knew there would be a path forward, but we didn't know what it would be. So we said that this event was going to be embracing our path forward. And now I have kind of the preliminary findings that I'm going to share with you tonight in anticipation of these 2 sessions tomorrow. And the work of Brand Earth and the work of teaming up just jumped out during the symposium, and we're in the findings that we heard. So Dr. Tamsin Willie Barker and Harry Uvegi's here, as is Summer Joy. I mean, it's really, we're on a turning point. Thank God, because we really need to be. We know it. If we don't change our direction, we're going to wind up where we're headed. So the question becomes, how do we really change? And it's more than words. So we're going to go there tonight. How do we change our thinking? How do we change our speaking? How do we change our actions? And these new patterns that are going to create the uplift that we need right now. So I'm thrilled, and I've been up, and we've been in it. We were down in Borrego getting all this cooked up to share tonight and tomorrow. So, as you could tell.
I want to say a big thanks to you and Becky and Ben and the whole team. Last weekend, it was an amazing symposium. I kept getting pulled in. I kept thinking, okay, I really got to work now, but oh God, I want to see this one. I want to see that one. And really, I thought about 85, 90% of the weekend, and it was extraordinary. Each person speaking so from the heart, and providing such inspiration as well as wisdom. And I'm just so proud of our beautiful global tribe. And our global tribe comes under many names: Unity Earth, One World, Sign Network, Global Peace Tribe. But we're all one big family coming together. And I've said it many times, you probably have too, John. We are the imaginal cells of the butterfly finding each other to create the new paradigm. And there are thousands of us and probably millions of us all over the world that are finding each other. And it's a very, very exciting time.
It is. It really is. Thank God.
Well, we always start on Saturday nights with music, and thank God we've got our beloved Omashar with us. And I'm going to turn it over to you, my friend.
Welcome, welcome, everybody. Namaste to the awakening world in the week of love. And let's do something. There we go. Ooh. And this one. Where is the light in your eyes? Where is the joy in your heart? Why are you hiding from me? Staying locked in your doubts. My love is all that there is. Your fear is hurting you so. I know it's all that you feel, and that it's hard to let go, let go, let go, 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 Again, that look in your eye. You do not believe in me. You'd rather live in your dreams. I've come to set you free. I am the lover you need. I hold my hand out to you. All I ask is your trust. I love you more than you know, and I love you, 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 I see you longing for home. You need to feel you belong, and that there's purpose to life. Come back
Wow, that was awesome. I'm going to go to gallery view, everybody. Let's give him some good twinkles.
Beautiful.
That was great, great one. Wow.
Yay.
And hey, everybody, you know, we can get all things Omar Shah at his website, which is his name, omarshah.com. Metaphysical musician, metapop. And I definitely encourage everybody to go down and get his albums by going to Bandcamp. Bandcamp is the most generous at paying their artists. If you buy the albums on Fridays, as we recently learned, he gets
Some
100
Fridays. It's once a month.
Ah, it's a once a month thing.
Mhm.
All right. Do we know if is the
Anyway,
first
they deserve money too because they're supporting us. So it's all good. Yeah.
All right, well, that's good to know.
And I'm waiting for them to have and you know .com, but I want it to be .calm. So
So I'm going to ask you next time we come up to share some of your thoughts about how we are embracing the path forward, because your voice, not just as a musical artist, but as a critical member of our Global Peace Tribe, is important. So just giving you fair warning, we're going to hear what you have to say about this as well. All right.
thank you.
All right. I am so pleased that we get to have Hallelujah Anasuya back with us tonight. And every time she comes onto the Awakening World, she's just lights up the stage with her passion her wisdom. And this is a woman who's had an extraordinary life. She's had some very, very difficult things that she's had to endure and recover from. But you know what they say, for a great soul, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger.
Yes.
That certainly is your story, isn't it?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's everything. She is a peace ambassador, part of the United Nations peace program. She works with people all over the world, whether it's in her local community or globally. And so, hallelujah, Anasuya, what are your opening thoughts to really kind of get us going with this vision? How do we embrace our path forward individually and collectively to create an awakening world?
Thank you for this wonderful introduction, as well as thank you for the invitation to be a part of this co-creation, this co-conjuring that we are doing together here in this holy circle. It is a pleasure and honor to be here with people I don't know, with people I do know, but on the soul plane, we're all cousins and sisters and brothers. So, hey, fam. What a good question. How do we move forward? I will have a very straight conversation with you all. And for you, those of you who don't know, I also, in addition to doing healing work with the arts, using theater, creative writing, and painting with people who have been severely affected by trauma and abuse. I also channel the divine feminine in the form of the Divine Mother. And most of the times it's the Black Madonna, but not always, because I have had visits from every faith that has a mother God. So she does not discriminate. She comes in everybody's flavor. So, so you may hear me share some of what she says if she pops through. I'll let you know that wasn't me, that was her. Okay, so because I do want her to speak on this, because I think our souls need a mother's guidance and a mother's wisdom. And honestly, has access to some of it, but she has access to all of it. So I hope she pops through. That said, I, Anasuya, the very human person, the person who is both a woman and Black in America, a woman whose people have known great oppression, domestic terrorism, occupation. It's for me, as someone very aware of history and a student of history and sociology and archaeology, it is very difficult to see again and again and again domestic terrorism, occupation, annihilation of people, be it in Yemen, be it in Afghanistan, be it in Congo, oh la la, South Sudan, Gaza, seeing this repetition of the disregard for human life and seeing how certain lives don't matter, or some lives matter more. So it brings me back to this inquiry of what are we repressing? What have we been taught to repress from our culture, from our religion, from our spaces that says, because I can't have this, be it a full self-expression of our sexuality, full self-expression of our potential, of our genius, of our quirks and idiosyncrasies, whatever it is that's being repressed is coming out in very violent ways, because we can't repress who we are or pieces of who we are and think that 1/4 of us or 1/2 of us is going to be okay with the other half not being expressed. No, it comes out in violence, whether it is date rape, whether it's domestic violence and stalking, or whether it's going to shoot up people in malls and schools and concerts, or at a parade. That violence comes out in war because the parts that we've been taught to repress, we go along with it because we believe that there's something wrong with it, there's something dirty about it, there's something shameful about it. And because we don't reconcile that, we have to turn something else into a monster. Because that thing in us that we're not allowed to have or be or express is monstrous or ugly or wrong, then we need to, as human beings, well, we don't need to, but we do, find other people to be a monster, other people to step on, other people to beat up, other people to oppress, other people who are wrong. Not me, it's them. And this whole practice is being expressed all over the world. The rise of fascism, the rise of neo-Nazis, the rise of white supremacists, all the cousins, the rise of intolerance and refusal to see the humanity in the other. Is what we're going on, so that we feel okay to go bomb some other people because they're not us. They're pagan. They're the wrong religion. They're the wrong color. They're the wrong whatever. They're monsters. So the place to look is where have we been repressing our inner monsters such that we give ourselves permission to shit on others, to declare someone else a monster, to declare somebody else unworthy of life and of breath and of seeing tomorrow, of seeing tonight. Why are we okay with that? What part of us have we been trying to kill, squash, get rid of, erase? Because that is being enacted and outpictured in the world. And for me, it breaks my heart. And I thought my heart couldn't be any more broken after George Floyd, after each day of seeing the police kill innocent Black people. I thought my heart couldn't be more shattered. It's already, having to navigate walking out the house knowing that I could not come back, that I may leave and that'll be the last day I see. Most of you don't have that experience of life, but I do. But yet my heart is breaking more. It is finding new ways to shatter. It's finding new ways of my shattered pieces to shatter some more. When I see so many babies exploded, or working in mines, or being child soldiers, it breaks my heart. And I refuse to look away because they don't have a choice. They can't look away. They can't take a day off and say, oh, I'm going to go get some coal, some heat and some hot food and some clothes. I'm just going to relax in front of TV and just forget about the war for a minute. They can't do that. So I force myself to stay aware of the inhumanity that is happening in front of me. And I ask us to do that too. The way forward is to not be in denial. The way forward is to own the part of us that we try to kill with not sleeping, with bad food, with disrespect, but the words we speak about ourselves, the things we say to ourselves. So many ways we are violent with ourselves. The way forward is to heal those parts of us that we were taught to hate, to despise, to not trust. Because we can't do that for somebody else. We can't see someone else's humanity if we're not seeing our own. If we are so sure that the other is wrong because of the wrong color, the wrong race, the wrong religion, the wrong language, the wrong culture, if we're so convinced of that, that is how we're talking about ourselves. The way forward is love. It's always love. But it starts with love of self. All of us, all that we are and all that we're not. All that we were and all that we never were. All that we never will be and all that we could be. Can we love us with our broken pieces, our damaged parts, our shameful parts, our regrets. Can we love us then? Because if we're able to extend that kind of grace to ourselves, there is a chance we can grant grace to a Muslim child, a Yemen child, an African child, an Afghani child, an Iranian girl. Maybe we can see their humanity when we see our own. So let's start with self-love. Thank you.
Anasuya, I'm not going to let you go so quickly. First of all, I so appreciate you. It's funny, when I was putting the show together, because it was primarily John's people, but I tuned in and you came in and it was like, no, I really, for some reason, I felt the need to invite you to tonight. And now I know why. And because you speak of the pain that we need to acknowledge, and you know what you're saying about choosing to stay awake despite all the incredible pain that's going on in the world. And
Can you pin us both, Scott, so I can see you too?
yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. I'd like to see you as you're talking to me.
You know what? I got so absorbed in your own thing, I forgot to put myself on. Here we go. Here I am.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm wondering if you'd be willing to share with the audience what you went through and how you have managed to stay in such a open-hearted space. I know. You don't have to go there if you don't want to, but
no, I can do it. I just
I mean, when I think about embracing the path forward, you had to embrace a path forward physically, emotionally, and spiritually that most of us, thank God, will never have to go through. And so, if you don't mind.
Yeah, thank you for asking. One of the things that I've learned, of course, with hindsight, so I didn't know this in the moment, is that when no, because everyone has them. Everyone has gifts. And everyone has a call on their lives, but not everyone chooses to answer. And not everyone chooses to say yes. So one of the things the Course in Miracles taught me is that the saying that we have that many are called, few are chosen is actually incorrect. It's all are called, but few choose to answer. So those of us who have chosen to say yes to this call, we don't know what we're getting into. We do not know what yes means and how much yes comes with fire. And what looks like testing is not testing, it's just life happening, and how we respond can be perceived as a test. And I say that because the minute I started hearing voices that I knew were not strange, that were familiar, that was family, that was comforting, before I knew they were from the other side, before I knew they were on the other side of the veil, the minute I started hearing them at 6 years old, then I became a magnet for the forces that don't like so much light on the earth and don't like the divine or God sneaking in that way. Now, at six years old, I did not know what very horrible things were happening to me, but I do know that's part of the journey of the wounded healer and people who can channel the divine. We're not invisible to I don't want to say the dark forces, because dark forces are beautiful to me, but we are attracted to the lower frequencies that thrive better when the light's off. So that said, I've had 4 near-death experiences, and the last one was a humdinger. I drove off the side of the road into a ravine, flipped the car 3 times, and died. And I have no idea how I was brought back, because I was on that road outside of Palm Springs in the desert at midnight, and there was nobody else on the road. And I did not call for help. But I do know I have a lot of angels, and I did hear that both my grandmothers came, and I do know that they made sure I got found. I was discovered. So shout out to ancestors. Our ancestors are our angels are our ancestors. So I didn't save me. I did not intentionally try to kill me either. Nevertheless, there I was. And so I had major brain injury, broken a lot of things. Okay, bones. Lost my short-term memory for a long time, made really funny sentences, was very, very frustrated that I couldn't put things together, like the synapses that connect the left side to the right side of the hemisphere of the brain. We're not talking to each other. I was very scrambled for the first year. And learning to talk again, learning to think again. I just said, you know what, God, let's make a deal. If I can speak again and have my mind back and my access to all that I've learned and studied, if I can keep the accumulated wisdom I have, including past lives, I don't mind if I don't get my body parts back. If I have to choose, I'd rather my brain, give me back my brain. I am able to walk, but I walk very funny. It's very troublesome to walk, and sometimes I need aid, sometimes I can't walk at all. But I'm grateful that I'm moving. I'm not on my back anymore. I can move my fingers I couldn't before. So it really helped me to see what people have said before. I'm not the first one to say it, but really how we can lose our lives in an instant. So maybe one of the ways forward for people, one of the Indian mystics teach it all the time. It says, if you really want to live, remember your death. Start your day off knowing I could die. I could not make it back. This could be my last. What if we actually woke up saying, this could be my last day? What do I want to do with it? Who am I going to talk to? Who do I need to say something to? Who do I need to forgive? Who do I need to ask forgiveness for? Who do I need to clean up my integrity with? How many things have I promised and not delivered yet? What if we just spent the day focused on, if people were to remember me, what would they remember? If people would speak on me, what would they say? And not from an ego point, but as an acknowledgement of the difference we made. Was life better when you were there? When you entered someone's life, be it 5 seconds at the grocery store, be it 1 minute they're sitting next to you in the car next to you at the stoplight, or longer, was their life better because of that exchange with you? I asked that. I was like, in every situation, God, let me make it better than I found it. Use me. Use me to make the difference, even if it's a smile, even if it's seeing someone who feels invisible and who doesn't feel like they matter, who knows they don't matter because there's no evidence that they do. May the words that I say to them bless their spirit such that some seed of hope gets planted. Even if they can't say it was me, let it still flow from me. Because I know whenever someone has blessed me, some complete stranger has said something kind to me or loving, especially when I didn't think I deserved it, that has altered me. It's changed my cells. And if I can be that for others, then hell yeah, man. So I haven't died 4 times and chosen to come back because we do get a choice. I don't know if you know that. You're not forced back. You get a stay or go. Now, that doesn't mean that I wasn't invited to consider the beauty of going back, even though at the time, my last trip, I did not want to come back to, if I'm honest. I really didn't. The heartbreak, it was a little too much for me. And I was leaving the country. Actually, I was on my way to the airport. So I was like, if I'm not leaving the country, I'm not going back to America. I'm not going back. Because life in America for a Black person is fucking hard. Yeah, I don't know nothing about that, but it's really hard. I don't care how much we're smiling, how much you see us singing and dancing. That's our survival mechanism. That does not take away from the brutality of this country. And I just couldn't take it anymore. So it took some convincing to come back the last time because I'm done. But then I remember that I'm not only here for me, I'm also here to bless people. So one of the things we can do to move forward is to remember that we actually are divine, no matter what trespasses we've committed, no matter what trespasses have been committed against us. And I know I've had quite a few humdingers come at me. But no matter any of that, the divine, of whatever name you call it, lives in us, as us. And that spirit can be tapped into, can be awakened, can be used at any time, at any time. So we need to use that power within us to bless others, to be there. Ooh, hold on. Somebody's at my door. But we can use that energy to bless people. To bless people make a difference, and we must be intentional at blessing people. Okay, the door has God, dog, same word, right? Reversed. That I'll pause it there and open the door. So, excuse me.
All right, well, while you're doing that, I'm going to let people know a little bit more about how you can get more of Anasuya. How perfectly human, right? In the middle of this incredible story and sharing. And the door rings, and there it is. It's God calling. Anasuya has a link tree because there's so many different things that she provides. You can even see her beautiful presentation that she did recently on the Awakening World. Learn all about the Black Madonna. She's got music, she's got presentations, and it's all on her link tree. Hallelujah, Anasuya. Putting that into the chat box. And, I want to also take a moment to thank John and Summer Raymer, as I do every week, and the Sign Network. Most of you out there watching us right now are watching us on Facebook. And that's because the Sign Network gets us out to as many as 150 Facebook groups and pages. Thank you so much, John and Summer, for doing that. Now, if you're watching us on Facebook, that's wonderful. But you know what? Come and join us. Come and join the Global Peace Tribe. In fact, I will change briefly my background from Valentine's to who we are. We are the Global Peace Tribe. We are people like Anasuya and the other wonderful people you're going to meet tonight. And it's easy to join us. Just go to globalpeacetribe.com. globalpeacetribe.com. We have amazing presenters. We do 2 or 3 shows every week, plus special events. Recently, we did a special exclusive interview with Marianne Williamson. Turned out to be her last online event before she suspended her presidential campaign. So we are doing wonderful things. And you can just click here, register for the new season, and that's where you'll be able to join us and come on into the Zoom room and be with us. And it's really good to be in the Zoom room because then I can put the camera on you while you're dancing to Oma Show's music. And you can connect directly with our presenters. And as I said, we do 2 or 3 shows every week. We just did a great show on Wednesday night, all about love. And this is the show that you're seeing tonight. So do join the Global Peace Tribe. Anasuya is back with us. So thank you. Was that God calling at the door for you, Anasuya?
Well, you know, in my spiritual tradition from India, we say when a bell rings in the temple, God is pleased. It's a sign that God is pleased. So whatever I was saying, to have a knock like that, like God really liked that message. So I hope y'all remember what it was.
Absolutely.
God said, pay attention to that part right there.
That God and all of us are appreciating you so much. Thank you so much for coming back 4 times. Thank you for that big, beautiful heart of yours. Thank you for being such an inspiration to all of us. And may we all channel our inner Anasuya Hallelujah.
Also known as your divine self.
Absolutely.
Thank you again for having me.
Absolutely. Wow. There's also some wonderful comments coming into the chat box, of course, people appreciating you. And also, I'm not going to comment on it, but thank you. Mark Donisovsky brought up a very powerful thing about what's going on globally. And so I do want to acknowledge what's going on in the chat box, and that's a very beautiful and important thing for us to be aware of. And John posted, for those of you wondering about the Sign Network, it's an alliance of many social innovators and change makers. So we all agreed to let John and Summer share other special events like last weekend's Unity Earth Symposium on our Facebook pages. And that's how we reach so many people. I should also thank our other broadcast partners, Conscious Awakening Network, Steve Farrell's Humanities team, the Shift Network sometimes carries us, Unify. Thank you all very much. All right, well, we do meditation 7 nights a week. We offer meditation. And on Saturday nights, it's part of our Awakening World. And tonight we've got a new friend. I've seen him a lot. He's definitely a pioneer of peace. And he is going to lead our meditation. We're also going to get a chance to get to know Kurt Kruger from the Peacemakers Circles Network. So welcome to the Awakening World, Kurt. And tell us a little bit about the work that you're doing.
Well, first of all, namaste. And I welcome you all with great respect and love because that's who we are. I got to learn from a man that Anasuya got to learn with, and other people got to learn with, John Denver and so on. And his teaching was exactly what comes forth on this program, the Global Peace Tribe. It's see God in each other and know that God dwells within you, as you, the big you, not the little guy or girl. Here we are. And with all this love, as you see the heart in the background, it's open, paying the love forward. And when we pay the love forward, what does it create? It creates peace. That's the force that creates peace. We have in this gathering and many other gatherings, as we've found, a peace force. I've been talking with policemen about being peace officers instead of police officers. It's a big difference when we approach life with that. So we've created a simple psychosomatic spiritual practice. Now I'm going side to side and I'm moving my hands together like this. If you can start to mimic me, just do the same thing. And what we're going to do is add a mantra to it. You can use it in your own home language, whether it's Sanskrit or whether it's Yiddish, whatever it might be. It's peace in everything, everything with peace. Peace in everything, everything with peace. As you see all these people doing this, it actually brings the cohesion. It brings that synergistic force. We do it at a 5.5 count. Everything with peace. Peace in everything. Everything with peace. We do this for a period of time that feels just right for us at the time we get to use it. I had a traumatic experience at Saugus High School with a mass shooting. I was there. I helped people with the stress of that. And then I got PTSD. And I had to give a deposition. An hour into the deposition, I broke down. I never break down. And so I said, let me go for 5 minutes. And I did this. And it was everything with peace. Peace in everything. And we are moving, getting the body language, getting the body memory, the muscle memory, just like you're davening in front of the Wailing Wall. And we're making it whole into our being. And you feel what peace brings to you. And peace attracts what? Blessings abound when we do this. Things magical happen. People pop into our life to maybe ask for help. Or maybe just a little smile, as Anna-Surya said. We do this any time of day or night. Some people can't do this, so they move their feet forward, saying peace in everything, and backward, everything with peace. That's their feet. If they can move forward like this, that's like the davening. But the feet, for me, when I wake up in the morning, I want to start off while I'm in bed, peace in everything, everything with peace. So we keep moving and grooving, and that's what we deserve. And because we have peace in everything, everything gets to have peace. And this beautiful flow that we have is so magical. We bring magic to life. And I'm going to put into the chat a gift, 2 gifts. It has a written description of the practice we just did. It has a gift of membership in the Peacemakers circles and network. Because we have people on every continent except Antarctica yet. We have yet to move in there. But soon enough, inshallah, as they say in Arabic, these continents have little circles where they meet every week for an hour or more, depending on how much they want to kibitz about what it is they're doing and activating in their neighborhoods. For me, we had a shooting up above our house, and we got the neighborhood together, and we talked about it over food. And some people came locked and loaded because they wanted to be protected. And of course, I don't have any weapons except love. And we found from Anna-Surya's gift, and Mother Teresa's gift, and Dalai Lama's gift, and your gift, that this love is the transformative agent when we give it. We can't hold on to it. This is what we get to do the rest of our life, is give this love, bringing peace in everything. Everything with peace. Every single thing is transformed because of it. That vibration is so powerful. That Power versus Force book is one that sort of verifies that too. And I'll put other things in the chat. I have a link tree also that I gift everybody. I'll put that in right now. And know that all you have to do is get in touch with me, and I'll give you what I got to give. If you have a traumatic experience, phone me. I don't care what time of day or night. Please don't think you can't, because you are that force that keeps us all alive and thriving. And Tamsin, I get to hear her and all the rest of the team that's coming up. And we all get to thrive even more because of that teaming effect. And it's with two E's. And there's reasons for that, and you'll find that out. Thank you so much. Blessings abound when you're around.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Kurt. What a beautiful and unique meditation. And I loved watching everybody going back and forth. And that's a beautiful teaching for all of us, just when we need to come back to center. So thank you for a beautiful moment, but also a very practical new tool that we get to add to our tool belt. And, that's what it's all about. Thank you very much, brother. And thank you for the beautiful gifts and the beautiful offering for people to reach out to you. What a pair of beautiful souls, Kurt and Anasuya. What a beautiful start. And Omushar, I love our Global Peace Tribe. Thank you. Well,
And you,
perfect timing, because I'm going to bring up my co-host. Hey, John, how's this for the start of a show?
and that's you, Scott. You can't hide from that. That is the space you create. It is like family here. It is safe enough for Anasoya to talk about that. We need places to empty.
Mhm.
We're not bypassing. But healing is learning. And we're journeying forward. And I'm in favor of love. Love wins.
Well, John, I'm turning it over to you because I know you've got some really, really fun stuff
But
planned.
we're moving and grooving. That's what we learned from now. And I think we should keep moving and grooving. That's kind of what we're
Absolutely.
doing during the Awakening to Humanity's Sacred Mission. Here, I'm going to drop this in the chat as well. Hi, Summer.
Hi.
So here, we're going to try something. So one of the things that's evolving potential, and we've seen it on this experience together with dancing with Omashar and now moving and grooving here. We're going to have you get out your phone, okay? So what we did...
I'll do that
Yeah,
while we're listening.
do this with your phone. It's totally fine.
Okay, go.
During Awakening to Humanity's Sacred Mission, we played with a tool for real-time feedback. And it changed the space of what was possible there. And I want to try it here. And it's simple, but it's a little like everything new. It creates a little bit of anxiety at first. What are we going to have to do here? So let me show you what I'm talking about. And it's called a Mentimeter, okay? And what you're going to be able to do, it's on your phone. Here, hold on. I'm going to show you my screen. I'm going to make it so that it's the full screen so you can see it big. If you know how to use these QR codes, just like take a picture. If you know how to take a picture of that code there, do that. If you don't, go to this website, menti.com. And what we're asking you to do is give us one word or two words, your vision of a better world in one word, maybe two. If not, I'm going to also take this and put it in the chat. So there's 3 ways that you could play. So in the chat, you can click on it. On your phone, you can take a photo, or on your phone, or you can, on your web browser, go to menti.com and watch what's happening here. You're going to, we've got 3 responses. So one word, your vision of a better world. Oh my gosh. Now we call this real-time feedback. And it's interesting. Start to be able to tune into each other, just like we were doing there with Kurt. There's a pulse. There is a presence.
It's so good to say the words too, just to really invoke them here. So teaming, BP,
Break status quo.
piercing.
Piercing the darkness.
Yeah, that was what I was gonna say. Yes.
Awaken consciousness. A better world.
And I love how love is at the center. Notice how love, oneness, and peace. I assume those are because more people are using those words, so they become
That's right.
dominant.
That's right. Okay, so we've gotten 41 responses. Now, by the way, people out on Facebook, you could play too. You don't have to be in Zoom to do this. All you got to do is go to menti.com, put in that code, or take a picture with the QR code and go there.
And by the way, it's not that you have to even take a picture. You just put your camera up close to it, and you'll see the link, and then click the link, and then your phone will automatically go to this link where you can put in your words.
That's right. Thank you, Scott. And you see, you can even react. Now, look, this is part of what I want to be talking about is new ways. It's one of Tamsin's insights when we first met. She said, the current situation, it's caused by the patterns. And the patterns are caused by the relationships. So if we change how we're relating, we can create new patterns. And then the situation will change. In fact, that's exactly what the Sign Network's all about. It's trusted sharing. It was a new relationship that people said they'd give us permission to share out onto their Facebook pages. But because we have that permission and we have that trust, we could turn a live stream into a sine wave, and in doing so, uplift each other, a new pattern. So this is one little example. I'm going to show you a bunch of this tonight, okay? So we're going to jump to the next question, okay? This is a little bit more advanced in what we could do, but check this out. So we're asking you to tell us, and you can now type more than one word. In what specific ways can you contribute to fostering peace and understanding within your immediate community and the wider world? In what specific ways can you contribute? And don't get too judgmental about yourself about this, but I want to show you what's possible here. Okay. Seeing divinity in all beings. Yes, seeing.
Can you put the QR up again, please?
Yeah. Let me do that. Hold on. I gotta turn something on to do that. Hang on. There's the code. Smile and shine light from my eyes.
Listening to Omashar music.
Mm-hmm. Bringing the music. By being kind and open to others. Now, what's fun about this stuff is the integration that you can have. You could vote. So we could say, okay, everyone vote to see which one has the most resonance for us. You could play that kind of game. Or look at this. If I hit the space bar here, hit this, it's going to take these. This is the use of this AI intelligence, this artificial intelligence. It's going to sort those circles and going to form, okay, and start to group them together and say, well, 5 of them were about kindness. And in doing this, we could start to see, let's go back to the individuals and see how they start to flow down here, right? Share your wealth, embrace your neighbor. We could look one at a time. We could say, okay, let's just do it this way. I could pray for peace. I can choose to cultivate thoughts, attitudes, and beliefs that promote peace. I could take time to contemplate oneness. I could take care of the earth. I can help children. Oh my gosh.
Yay.
Dancing for joy. All right, we've had 36 responses. We call this real-time feedback.
Tickle someone. That's nice.
All right. Like I say, okay, now that we've got 38 responses, when we get 40, we'll group them again.
And I love, in looking at what people are writing, I love the combination. Some of it is, serious, like participate in social action. and some of it is listening to Omoshore music and dancing. And I'm appreciating that balance. I'm seeing both, that it's like we need to do action and we also need to choose joy, you know? So
Right. Let's group them. Let's see what the AI says here about this. 8 groups were found: music, community, listening. There's still 26. I'm going to hide the QR code just to see that, the healing energy. 3 about dance.
Yay.
Inviting us, whatever is, what's in the way is on the way. All right. So I'm showing you this because this was one of the tools we did during the Awakening to Humanity's Sacred Mission. And it offers another way of, like Kurt was doing, of starting to tune in with each other, the coherence, intelligent coherence. Patricia calls that holy thinking, intelligent coherence. So we really set out to do something different. We're all painfully aware of what a crazy time we're alive in and the challenges that we're facing. They really are unprecedented. So what are we going to do? Well, Ervin Laszlo had an idea. He says it's time we need to awaken to humanity's sacred mission. Really, what is humanity's sacred mission? So we said we're going to take some time to come together with that question. And I put in the chat a few minutes ago the link to this original call. So as we navigate a world where 8 billion individuals stand on the precipice of turmoil and uncertainty, the awakening to humanity's sacred mission emerges as a beacon of hope and positive change. So you can go here and you can see more. You can see this was the initial poster. It really grew. It grew into 3 days, the 9th, 10th, and 11th, of sessions done in each hemisphere that were coupled with these engagement sessions, intending to enable not just more talk, but to real, how do we turn the intelligence we need into the changes we need to make, the new patterns that need to be formed. So this is here. I'm going to show you some of what emerged out of this. All right. So I just can't ignore what Anasoya was talking about and the pain there. And I just want to bring up one other link. I'm in One World. That's where I'm doing this. Just what Patricia Ann Davis has to say. This is an authentic wisdom keeper of the Diné Navajo tradition. And she says, you are a spark of divinity within a greater light, with inherent compassionate peacemaking sovereignty and a genius gift for making decisions for the greatest good for the greatest number of people. I am so glad you are here, Anasoya, that you chose life. It's our privilege to play together and evolve the potential to brighten this light. So thank you, dear sister. And let me show you a little bit about what we just are up to. So tomorrow, you're not done with the symposium. You can still come, okay? We have 2 sessions tomorrow. And that's the way we designed this. Let me show you. So I'm going to give you a peek at some of the stuff that we haven't shared yet publicly, but that's part of the deal and being a part of the Global Peace Tribe. So here's what we're doing. This is the path forward we've been on. So we did this symposium. It was amazing. We're amazing people, really remarkable. But we put out a survey. In addition to the real-time feedback, we called reflective feedback. There were these 19 questions grouped in a way that I'll show you in a minute. Then we started to go into it after the symposium. The analysis and synthesis, and what you're looking at is the beginning, these findings that I've prepared for tomorrow. And we've done this. This is our collective doing. We had a strategy about how to do this. And here, we use the Mentimeter, we use the Google Forms. We explained what different kind of feedback is. 19 questions grouped in these 5 sections. We've had over 100 responses. And we're making everyone available to have all the data. Anyone can look at it and see what they want from it and make of it what they want. It's all anonymous. And then we did use of AI. We took and summarized, because there's quantitative but qualitative. And that's always been the hardest part. How do you deal with all those words and make sense of it? It's one of the best things for ChatGPT. And I wanted to just say something about the AI stuff. I wrote a paper. AI doesn't care. You do. And that's why what I'm doing here, I think, could be so meaningful for all of us, because it's you, Scott, who cares. That's what created this family. It's us who care. That's what makes love real. AI doesn't care, but boy, we'd be crazy not to use these tools when you see what's possible here. So let me be a coach to you in this time together. We use the Mentimeter. This is just to show that. But I want to show a little bit from this survey. Just a couple of answers to the questions. So we put together this reflective feedback, grouping into these 19 questions into these different categories. We got feedback on how the visionary voice is. And we did have all this quantitative data we could use. So we could see things like this. How did you rate the overall quality? 91 people responded. 77 people thought it was the best it could be, the highest value. And we learned that it's not all perfect. We got to do better the engagement sessions, but look at this. We go past all this. We used a variety of intelligences here. We took the approach that, hold on, sorry. That artificial intelligence, technological intelligence is cool, but it's not everything that we're counting on here. We need our own intelligence, our innate intelligence, our intuitive intelligence, our creative intelligence, our social intelligence, collective, all of this. And we've written about this and we've been summarizing, because we're talking about changing our thinking, our speaking, and our acting. And frankly, we need all the help we can get. We need all the intelligence we can find so that we actually are acting intelligently with wisdom and foresight. So look at just a couple of these answers. I just want to show you what we're capable of pulling together. And as you saw a minute ago, I took it and put it into a spreadsheet, took all the data, and then asked it a couple of questions. How has the symposium influenced your perspective on humanity's sacred mission? And you know what, Summer, would you read the answer? It's good to hear other voices here. Here's the answer that we got back after we summarized it and then summarized the summary into 2 sentences.
Well, I just want to say, because I haven't really spoke yet, that I mean, John is just, doesn't sleep. He's on fire. He is Mr. Harvest of ways of he's like the shallot in the collective space, like a salad dressing, like you need the shallots because it brings it all together, that then like reflects the ultimate flavor. So I just want to say that, John, there are many people that are a part of all these networks and everything, but there's this sort of John Raymer that keeps helping, synergizing and harnessing what's happening together. So I just want to say, I'm not just saying that because I'm his wife, but I do see what's going on here, and he's on fire. So I just think there's a lot that we can do here in this moment. And there's something powerful when we can actually participate and show up together. That's part of my answer tonight to the question of this whole gathering, is showing up and not necessarily knowing. And I can read that if you'd like, but I just needed to kind of like land for a minute because there's a lot you're sharing. And there's so much that we're going to unpack tomorrow. So, come to the symposium or to the harvest.
I want to riff on what you said for a moment there too, Summer, because the people that I invite to be on the show are usually people that are inspirational, that represent their role models. And I'm appreciating how John is role modeling, how he's taken on projects that most of us wouldn't even think to take on, let alone deal with, right? And so thank you, John, for all the things that you do that aren't in our wheelhouse or that maybe we wouldn't be doing, but that is supporting the community. And it is a lot of the studying and figuring out how to work with AI and all the researching. So thank you, John, for being a beautiful model for how each of us has different roles to play. And remember, I loved what Anasuya said. Everyone is called, but few answer the call. Thank you, John and Summer, for answering the call. And the call may be intellectual work like figuring out AI or dancing for 24 hours. We need it all. So thank you for answering the call.
Yeah. No, this is mine to do. This is ours to do together. Go back to what Tamsin said, because you'll see the night unfold. Tamsin and Harry's work in particular, which we want to show you how it was so well received, is all about nature. It's all about the natural world and our attunement with it, and harmonizing all these different intelligences to understand the relationship between language and action. We talk in metaphors often, we're really not clear what we're talking about. One of the things in radical collaboration by teaming up is the notion of paradigms. So it's thinking about how we're thinking about things isn't something we do all the time. That's why it's a privilege to be able to pause. And one of the paradigms that Tamsin shared was this idea of evolving potential. Now, I saw the note in the chat about AI. AI is a threat. It also could be the most remarkable transformation for us as human beings. It changes the limits of the possible in the structures of our everyday lives. That doesn't mean it's all good, and it doesn't mean it's all bad. It's like fire. That's why I wrote that paper, because I knew I've been in this conversation for many, many years. And we can augment ourselves in healthy, good ways that allow our capacity to care to be even more effective. So if you're worried about AI, I understand, but hang in there. Let's learn together. Just let me show you how we were able to learn from it in the process of answering this question about what does it mean to awaken humanity's sacred mission. And how would we know if we even did that? That was one of the questions we asked. We figured it would be good to know. How would we know? What would be the signs? What would be the indicators? So I do want to go back to what we were. So you were about to read the answer.
Yeah,
Summary of.
I don't follow directions very well. That's just part of who
No,
I
I
am.
think it was Scott. One of the. You stop the share.
I go off the order plan all the time, John.
And read it twice, because the first time it's just like you're discovering it. So read it.
Okay. You want me to read it 3 times? Did you just say?
Just read it once.
Okay, I think once is good. Okay. I just want to invite actually all of us to come back to that beautiful thing that Kurt had us doing. So just to bring our whole bodies into this experience, because we're in this together. The symposium has strengthened our collective resolve, highlighting our interconnectedness and shared dedication to humanity's sacred mission, inspiring a unified movement towards creating a more compassionate, sustainable world. It underscored the importance of collaboration and personal commitment, empowering participants with a renewed sense of purpose and the belief that together we can affect transformative change.
Right. So let me just clarify.
Okay.
This is the result of what people said. This is the synthesis of 80 plus responses. And in fact, what I have here is inside the speaker notes. It was longer. Originally, it came back after we summarized all the statements. And then I said, let's even get it shorter so we could see it in one word, or one sentence rather, or 2 sentences. But this is our words. This came from us. I just want to show you here another one. What was one key takeaway? Now, there were these 19 questions, and you're welcome to still fill them out and watch the sessions. If you did go to any of the sessions, you haven't filled out the form, I'd love you to. We've got now about 105 answers. So what was one key takeaway? Maybe Tamsin, you could read this one.
Yeah, let's hear. Yeah, because you have Harry and Tamsin here.
All right. So I'm reading the second one.
Yeah.
Okay. Emphasizing. Wait, I gotta be.
No. Read. This is another question. Okay.
Oh. Okay. This,
So hold on. Let me get you back to it.
And
This-
if you want to like sing it or like, anything you want to add.
poor John.
One key takeaway from the symposium that you plan. Now, we got, I think, 90 responses to this, and here's the synthesis.
Okay. The symposium has galvanized participants towards embracing creativity, deep engagement, and a dedication to sustainability and peace, highlighting a collective desire for co-creation, community collaboration, and actionable change. Emphasizing the importance of listening, unity, and self-love, attendees are inspired to contribute their unique value towards a regenerative and compassionate world, underlining the transformative power of individual and collective actions in shaping humanity's sacred mission. That chat is really good.
Isn't that what Anasai was saying? Self-love?
Really, it's really good.
Yes, she was saying that.
You know,
Unity?
I wanted to say a little thing about it, if I may.
Please, of course.
You know that the AI, there's a lot of problems with it, but it's a predictive engine. And so if we don't train the AI on love, we're going to get the thing we don't want. So we have to train the AI on us. So that's what I hope we're doing.
Well, guess what? It starts at a pretty good place. This is the synthesis of our words based upon the large language model that OpenAI uses. It's pretty affirmative. That's what I've seen. And so it's worth, I think, going deeper. In fact, Tamsin, you don't know this yet, but people reference teaming. I'll show you how this happened. So hold on. Can I do a little more of this? Is this okay, Scott? Don't let me.
Yeah, this is fascinating, really interesting. And just to remind everybody, this is what we're getting is we're seeing a glimpse into the future, and we're learning about our community. The synopsis here and the summary is what is going on inside the consciousness of our global peace tribe.
Right. This is like a mirror back to us. So we had a section on impact and takeaways. And again, these images came as a result of the prompting. But here, look what happened on this one. How has the symposium influenced your perspective on humanity's sacred mission? Okay, wait, hold on. This is the one. What is one key takeaway from the symposium that you plan to apply in your life? I got a very different answer. I got an answer. Yeah. The symposium has galvanized participants towards embracing creativity, deep engagement, dedication to sustainability and peace, highlighting a collective desire for co-creation, community collaboration, and actionable change. Okay, we just read this one. Hold on. Hold on. Overall experience of the symposium. This was the one. Were there any ideas or concepts presented that you found particularly innovative or inspiring in the context of humanity's sacred mission? And this is where this answer surprised me. It came back with 6 categories. And I'm going to show you those because they mentioned teaming and they mentioned Brand Earth, which I want to include Harry's vision on as well. So we're not going to go to all 6, but the summary on the bottom said that this summary encapsulates a community deeply engaged in exploring and implementing ideas that foster a more compassionate, sustainable, and regenerative world. The responses reveal a collective aspiration to transcend conventional boundaries and work towards a unified vision of global well-being and consciousness. So then the first one was collaboration and participation. And they said respondents were inspired by the concepts of engaging at both micro and macro levels, emphasizing the importance of collective action and individual responsibility. The idea of teaming up and the notion of a hive or swarm model for creativity and action reflect a strong inclination towards collaborative efforts and community-based solutions. And let's just do the next one, then we'll bring on Harry and Tamsin here. Next one, under consciousness and transformation, a recurring theme was the call for an upshift in consciousness, with meditation and restorative practices being highlighted as pathways to achieve this. The discussion around Brand Earth and biomimicry as examples of facilitating positive change underscores the desire for innovation that harmonizes with nature. So the genius of Brand Earth and the partnership that Harry and Tamsin has had for years is because Harry has the ecological sensibility and the recognition that we owe a great debt to nature. And he's forming the bank, nature's whole earth bank, that will actually ensure that we change our economics so we can flow our resources back to underwrite the work that needs to be done in local communities, like what Tamsin's doing in Borrego Springs. The two of them have been working at this for years, and I have the privilege to serve both of them. The new story.
And we were just physically together all week.
Yep.
We were dancing together, we were spending time together, breaking bread together, and on the just right on the other side of this sacred mission gathering, to go from an online experience where Tamsin and Harry were they were facilitating one of the sessions, and then that we got to physically be together, and now we're here is really amazing. So yeah, bringing
We
it
were
all
dancing together in this garden of joy.
Yes, we were dancing. Yes, we were.
Because Harry's making the point we all know. He says, how are we going to deal with the money? Where is the money going to come from?
Mhm.
We need to be real. And that's the vision. Harry has a new brand story: be respectful, accessing nature's diversity. And he's going to do it in his neighborhood, like we're doing it in ours, and Tamsin's doing it in hers. In Borrego Springs, Harry's doing it on Manahata, a little island there. If we could do it there, we could do it everywhere. So I want to let you guys share about your work. And, I know Charles is here too. It's a moment we should include, because Charles was with us.
Yeah, Charles, bring him in.
No, but wait. So Harry, say a few words just to hear you, people can hear your voice about Brand Earth and about the opportunity of awakening and our path forward.
To go back to in the beginning was a decoupling from my previous life of being an architect. And I needed to self-paradigm to kind of review our relationship to the planet. And what came forward through all these years, it's about 20 years I'm holding this space. John spoke about AI doesn't care, you do. God doesn't create miracles, you do. And I think if we understand that basic premise, we collectively here have the ability to change what we are experiencing. I think it's this radical uplift that I've had with Tamsin and our group on a steady basis for the past few years has given us the opportunity and the space to bring forward these messages and these opportunities for us to all benefit by. And the mission objective in Brand Earth is being able to empower everyone on the planet to participate and invite everyone to this wonderful opportunity, this gift that we have to make the change. And we're all trying to shift from what images and what perspectives we've been living through and under, that to give ourselves the permission to free ourselves from what we've been raised by and lived by, and family structures, all of those emotional details that have gotten us to this place. For me, finding our group together was on purpose. It's a little more than 2 years that I intuitively just went to a show called Humanity Rising. I got that email for years, but I never plugged into it. And all of a sudden I got the message, just go here. It was around COP26 on watching what some people think about how to manage the world at this point. And at that particular moment, on one day during those weeks in COP26 in Norway, there appeared a man on a Zoom call with other people. His name was John Raymer. I didn't see his face. I just heard his voice. And I said, that's him. And what does that him mean? I said, I don't know, but you just got to connect with him. After that Humanity Rising message, there was an after chat. And in the after chat, I met up with 3 other people, Kurt Kruger, Kurt Johnson, and Stan. And there's just the 4 of us. And by the end of that particular meeting, there was this commitment that we recognized each other and we need to do this together. And then came the opportunity to speak with John. John heard what I was saying, resonated, and we've been working together since then. But the most profound story was that John was holding a book in his hand about teaming when he's dealing with Nina Meyerhoff and this work that they were doing in Auschwitz with the Building of Hope. And he mentions teaming. Okay, Tamsin is a friend. So we reached out to each other and I said, by the way, Tamsin is a friend of mine. And those synergy circles were beginning to get smaller and smaller. And then Tamsin and I and John and Charles and the group kept getting larger and larger. And here we are a couple of years later, and we've accomplished the details of how we can actually create this uplift and upshift in the realm of love, in the realm of gratitude, and the ability to support each other. Trust is the underpinning for all of this. The love, the basis for this, has been extraordinary possibility for this to occur. And so Brand Earth has this mission to have this grace be applied to everyone on the planet. Because once people get to recognize that the wealth is below our feet, that we have the opportunity that each of our footprints are recorded in the Akashic records, that the planet knows we're here, the planet knows that we're here to have a relationship with nature, and this opportunity has become the focus and the ability for us to reach out to each other and finally bring this forward. And this notion that John spoke about, nature's whole earth bank, yes, there is no bank for nature, but we owe debt to nature. And it's now our responsibility to respond to the call that nature is saying that you owe a lot of years of back rent here, many hundreds of years. You've just been taking from me, and now it's time for you to give it back in some way. And this is the opportunity we have together to recognize the beauty that surrounds us, that we walk in, that we're gifted to be together on this planet together to do this. I'll go back in history a little bit. Noah's story. Noah was a single man with his family that was gifted the notion of there's a water challenge coming. And he spent, I think it's about 100 years that he spent building the ark. Only he and his family. But what happened at that point at the end story is that in this water cycle that he was preparing for, he managed to bring all the species aboard. Humanity in that story didn't do well. But here we are, so many thousands of years later, we are 8 billion people on the planet, and most of our species are gone. So now we have the opportunity that 8 billion of us could act as one and repair, reciprocate, and reconcile and restore our probability of being able to satisfy nature's request. We have been abusing nature's invitation for so many thousands of years. It's about time we accepted the invitation and begin this walk home in a very powerful way. And I'm honored to have this opportunity to be here with Tamsin and John and Summer and Charles and everybody else that's here and listening, because this is our moment our moment to respond, our moment to say yes, and our moment to continue along this journey of grace. Thank you.
Thank you, Harry. Yeah, let's bring Tamsin on here. Because
That
this
was
teaming up,
beautiful. That's so beautiful, Harry. You know, what Anasuya was talking about, that we're all called, but few of us choose to answer. And some of us are crazy enough to do it, but it's a lot. It's a lot to do by yourself. And this has just been finding Harry and John and Charles and Summer and this whole community, all of you, has just made it all possible suddenly. You know, it's been decades of this crazy idea that, you know, that we have the same inner potential as every other living thing, and that we're all survivors on this earth and designed to live here together and create this magic that we all dance within, and that we belong. And so, you know, like she was saying, that potential is in us. And so to me, if I can just get people to open their eyes and see that miracle and know that we're a living thing with the same potential as every other living thing, and that we are irrepressible, we can't be kept down. And the nature of our human being is that we take care of each other, and we live in places, and we take care of the land, and that takes care of us. And all of the knowledge that we had for taking care of each other and the food and growing that and taking care of the water, you know, we had that, and we've accumulated that and developed that for thousands of years wherever we live. So I think that we have this opportunity to bring that kind of knowledge back, to come home, back home to each other, and to the places we live, to remember how to take care of it, and to remember our humanity, like the way that we collaborate together, the structures for growing trust. You know, teaming, I worked with all these corporations, and I saw that we could bring these nature inspirations, and it was so inspiring for the engineers, but they couldn't actually put it into place because they weren't designed to adapt. They weren't designed to adapt to change. Like Anasuya was saying, our individuality, our unique potential is suppressed across the board, everywhere we go. It's designed that way. And so if we're going to express our collective intelligence and really evolve to our highest potential, we have to cultivate and protect that individuality for each of us, and see what we can do together that's unique and special wherever we are. So for me, it's that cultivating that life mind, that awareness, that sacred feeling of knowing that you belong and that you're part of the world. And it's cultivating those human relationships, the patterns of exchange and agreement that we have. And that includes the work that you're doing, John. I think it's truly historic, and all of you are witnessing it. Really, really excited and proud to be part of what you're doing, John. And then I think coming home to place, coming home to our potential as people, and taking care of one another and protecting that space, walking each other home. Because I know we can do it. You know, life changes on a dime. It really can. It can change. And, you know, all these doom and gloom linear projections, that's not how life works. It actually is this living slime mold of a thing that can just flip. So you should know that, you know, that these projections are not the way that life works, and we can change everything. Thank you.
it's so well said. Exactly. And that's where the evolving potential, that's where staying awake and our creative imagination, it's in these moments that we are determining the future by the choices we make. And that's why it's such a joy to have this opportunity to learn from each other, to really be influenced by each other. It's those new patterns. It's just like you were saying. And that's where trust, that's where we can open a safe place where we can empty. You know, I've had the privilege to be involved in this conversation about deep social networks, and then wrote with Hereditary Chief Phil, who's another great guest that Scott brings on, this idea of guiding principles. It's a principle-centered approach. It's principles that govern our behavior in pursuit of our purpose. And the idea of it starting from within and working in a circle, in a sacred manner, we can heal and develop ourselves, our relationships in the world. That's the natural order. That's the way nature works. That's the gifts we have in this community. Access to Brother Phil and access to Patricia and the community at large. And the idea that, maybe it's all an accident. I don't know. I'm behaving like this is ours to do. And it means there's challenges. This is going to be a year, I call it the year of dragon yoga. Stretch. We're going to need to stretch. I can feel it coming. We need a wise transition and navigating our future with foresight and wisdom. The challenges are here, and it's our chance to respond. So I'm so grateful for this community that we're building and that we have a beloved community.
Don, I'm going to come in for a quick minute. I do want to hear more from you and your team, but we're going to have an Omoshar song in a moment. And I just want to acknowledge a little bit of what's been going on in the chat box. Reverend Jeffrey always reminds us that Lovolution is the solution. I think that goes right along with teaming. A lot of people, of course, are appreciating what everybody has had to say. Julia points out that we're not using the word competition. We're really transcending competition. And we really are moving from a competitive world into a collaborative world. I also want to acknowledge that a few people like Dr. Laura have been expressing their concern about AI in the chat box. And like John said, it's a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for great good and it can be used for great harm. But there's been a lot of acknowledgement of how beautifully John is using this tool to help us to learn, to synthesize, and to come together. And Ayada just wrote that she loves dragon yoga. Yes, we need to stretch and breathe. Remember, in yoga, we stretch and we breathe into the discomfort. We don't stretch so far that we hurt ourselves, but we stretch, breathe into the discomfort so that we can expand. I'll finish with Christy Michaels says, we are seeking the surprise organic idea that will spring new action. That's a good one, Christy. That's a good one. All right, we're going to come back to John and Tamsin and Harry, but it's time for an Omoshar song to just kind of integrate all this wonderful wisdom that we're receiving.
What if we could find a way to wipe away all tears and fears, all broken hearts, to clear the way for a brand new start? Now that we see and know the way to lift our day and shine the light for all to see, the way back home and the way to be free. Let our love lead the way. Let the light shine through all. Let our hearts and minds be free. As we rise up from the fall, there is a way to see again, to be again, to know the truth and smile again. wipe away all tears and fears, all broken hearts, to clear the way for a brand new start. Let our love lead the way. Let the light shine through all. Let our hearts and minds be free. As we rise up from the fall. There is a way to see again, to be again, to know the truth and smile again. With an open heart we feel safe again.
Mm. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There's all Twinkle Beloved Omashar here. Thank you so much, brother.
My pleasure.
Mm. I'm going to put the spotlight on Eleanor Joy for a moment. So Eleanor Joy, you are on camera. And talk about transformation. It looks like you transformed Ian into a beautiful white dog tonight. So it just goes to show that amazing transformations can take place.
I
But
think
also,
pleased with that comment.
no, we love Ian. But on a serious note, one of the things we do in Global Peace Tribe is we support our family members. And of course, Eleanor Joy is our beloved dancer and has also been with us for a long time. And she's got surgery coming up in a few weeks. She's not going to be able to work. And it's really important that we support her. So I'm looking and I'm seeing a lot of the people that have supported you already. And so many of them are Global Peace Tribe people. Look at all those wonderful friends that are in the audience right now. All the Deborahs and Tara Russo, Susan Carroll, all friends that have been supporting her. And so let's please provide support. Anything is welcome. I'm putting into the chat box the link. And we love you very much, Eleanor Joy.
Thank you. Thank you. I really
Absolutely.
appreciate all this.
All right. I'm going to go back to my wonderful co-host, John.
AI doesn't care. I do. I was just dropping a little bit of green energy to go Eleanor's way.
Thank you very much.
Listen, here's the thing. We're going through some profound changes. Let's just acknowledge that. What I can promise is to be transparent, to have accountability and integrity in what we're learning together. There isn't an option called keep things as it is. If we don't change our direction, we're going to wind up where we're headed. So that's why for me, these experiments, these opportunities to learn together are really so meaningful. I've never had that many responses and that much meaningful content. Like Tamsin was saying, the ability to do these summaries is really remarkable. And if you're interested in learning more, I want you to know more, because what we're seeing is that there is a sacred mission for humanity, but there's also our own personal mission. And we're creating a platform upon which to get to know each other, to connect to each other. Someone used, I think it was Carol. I was so happy when I saw this, Tamsin. She used the purpose statement framework and we're using that. And Tamsin taught us that in the whole course we did on radical collaboration by teaming up. A simple 4-step way of expressing yourself, saying, because I believe, and you fill in the blank, I am called to, and you fill in the blank, in a way that, you fill in the blank, so that. And I'm a musician, so for me, it's almost like a blues progression. Because in any context, you could say, oh, well, because I believe our awakening world is a meaningful community, I am called to open my heart and offer to be as available as I can in a way that hopefully and promises to deliver a greater understanding about what we ought to do at this time so that we can say we did awaken and that we did make the change and that our ancestors and that our relatives for the future will look back and say, thank God for them. So I believe, because I believe in a way that, because I believe I am called to in a way that, so that. It's just one of the many things that we're learning together, how to break new patterns. So I want to use this time to get anybody ask any questions you may have. I know, Deborah, you're here as well, who recently discovered One World. I want to show you one thing in One World, but if you've got questions or concerns, I don't want you to feel this isn't a safe place to share them. We say that in the Sign Network, we spruce, speak your truth with love and compassion. And we're interested, I'm going to finish doing my donation when I'm done with this, but I wanted to show you guys this. So this is One World. And there's an area, they're called spaces in One World, where people are declaring their missions. So look over here. So we're in the middle of the MLK 40 Days of Peace. If I click on that, each of these little bars here, these are different spaces that appear here. So if I go into Mission 2024 and I say I want to see these missions, you've been hearing from the work that Tamsin's doing, the work that Harry's doing. So hold on, let's go get to the missions. Down here. And by the way, Brother Phil, calling for an indigenous-led global peace movement. Living Minds, Brand Earth. And there's one in particular I want to bring attention to that's down here, the Garden of Joy mission. And oh my God, did you see who Summer was dancing with? Cosmic Joy Light. Oh my gosh. Your mission, if you're up for it, this is an impact hub. That's what we're building. We're discovering each other. We're sharing our purpose statements. We're articulating our dreams and our visions in these mission plans. Here's one on teaming together. Every mission plan has an objectives as well as a call to action, other resources. Here's the purpose statement that Tamsin shared. A little bit more about the mission leader and a way to connect. All these tags bring you together. We're creating a new set of patterns to relate to each other and discover each other. That's part of what's happening here in One World. I'm really excited about the idea of uniting communities for a powerful global impact. And we have an architecture of interconnected communities because we don't want to be competitive. That came up before. I started the Compassion Games. The whole idea of that we're all competing, but we're really competing with ourselves to be the very best we could be. Competere means to strive together. That's why the Compassion Games are the survival of the kindest. So invite you guys to play. Let's bring on, Scott, I want to make sure I'm respectful of the flow and who else is supposed to share, but I'd love to have Charles as well. He's been with us. Charles, are you still here? Oh my God, he is. This is such a great example of someone dedicated to supporting others. And Tamsin, and Summer, I want you to share about Cosmic Joy. But Charles, oh my God, you're home.
Yeah, I got home at about 2:30 in the morning. My body's still somewhere in Borrego Springs or Moonlight Beach or with John Cobb. But Scott, thank you for this opportunity. I've been called many times, but this time I got to show up. It was a choice between this and my sacred holy fireplace, or this holy sacred fire ceremony with you, beloved brothers and sisters, and the taskmasters of Harry Viggy and Dr. Tamsin. And I love being Raymerized. So, and Dr. Laura, I'm right there with you. And I'm down here in Kankakee, and let's bring forth infinite intelligence, So thank you, John, for saving us and for harnessing the creative genius of artificial intelligence, but bringing in your article, AI doesn't care. We do. We do, and we are. And that's what I have to say. Thank you. And
Yeah.
Summer Joy, I'm dancing, sort of, but you're it.
I mean,
Well, Irvin
Yeah,
Laszlo did say, who was the reason that whole event happened last weekend, is that we are dancing souls finding our way home. I think he said something like that. I may be paraphrasing that a little incorrectly, but there's like the dance in the body, and then there's this space that you can't see that we are dancing in together
right.
all the time. Yeah.
Yep. Now we got together in a place because we all know this, change has to happen somewhere, and everybody is someplace. And we can visit each other and work together on our places. So Borrego Springs, tell us about the Borrego Institute for Living Design and how that place and the work you're doing with the first people that are there, and just like Harry's doing in Manhattan and we're doing on Whidbey. And yeah, I want people to get the idea that this is grounded in place.
Yeah, well, it's an epic place. It's 86 acres of wilderness in the Colorado desert, and it's a really special place. It goes from 3,000 feet to sea level in a really short amount of time, and so it's an ecotone between two really different places. And what's really special about it is that people have lived there for at least 10,000 years, and the evidence is still there. The metates and the morteros. The old tools are still there. And so what we're doing is we're actually inviting the indigenous people of that area, the Kumeyaay and the Kupa and the Kuya, to come to the build and practice biocultural knowledge, how to take care of the land, how to prepare food, how to harvest it. And so that we can remember that and how to take care of the land. And so the idea is that not only can they experience that reconnection, and we're going to have an archaeology living field school there, but leaders can come there and experience that shift from mechanistic thinking to living design. So all the things that I'm talking about, they can experience it bodily, like dance. It's in your body. So that's what we're hoping. And then we're hoping that those people will experience it and go, oh my gosh, I know what you're talking about. And then they can take it back to their home communities and do the same, reconnecting to the land, remembering the practices. And if we can do that everywhere, if we can do it in Manhattan, we can do it there, we can do it anywhere, and we can do it everywhere. And I think it's really, really beautiful for the kids, elders. It's amazing.
Well, John, we need to add a card to the Trello board. I sat next to two people from Del Mar, California, coming to Chicago, where they used to live, and they hike in Borrego Springs regularly. And I'm digging through my computer bag looking for something that I can share with them so that they can find us. So it led me to realize we needed to play on, after you hike and enjoy the hiking advantages, come to the build, ... be the build.
Love it. Thank you, Charles.
Put
Yeah.
the website, Tamsin. Let's put the website in the chat.
I did. It's there twice.
Oh, okay.
Fabulous.
So much. Yeah, it's really, really special. And so what we want to do is have like creative residencies. So people that are working on a book or learning something, a new skill, or they're artists, they can come and take a little time to themselves and develop those skills and reconnect to place and experience that.
Yeah. Summer, would you be willing to share your garden of joy, from your garden of joy, your cosmic joy? I mean, we live in a very holy place. I mean, we won't get into that story now, but we are in sacred ground. There's an amazing story of Lost Bird and our life here on the land. But what you've created with Garden of Joy and Cosmic Joy Light has been revealed.
Yeah, well, I was actually trying to find a picture from one of the many times we've been to build. One of the times that is my favorite time, what of course recently was amazing, but my favorite was when we were there during the super bloom. The super bloom in the desert is an incredible miracle to witness. And part of my mission in the Garden of Joy in One World is Hosho, which is the reason I even know about that word is because of Patricia Ann Davis, a Dene elder, who is holding the space, the Love Currency Embassy. And Hosho, I want to embody that personally and bring it forward into the world as a super bloom. And the only reason I'm able to even speak to that is because I spent time with Sister Tamsin in relationship with the flowers and the wild, profound miracles that happen in the desert during the spring in the super bloom in Borrego. And specifically being on the land and experiencing how the possibilities of how we can walk on this earth in an interconnected way that I've learned so much from Tamsin and Harry and John and Charles and all of our ways that we are interweaving. But something really profound happened to me in this recent trip, which I think is just in relationship to everything that we're talking about. Sacred mission. There's something that happened to me in the Garden of Joy's sacred mission. This is not just a painting. This is a very, very special gift that landed in my email from one of the artists that I'm collaborating with on What Is the Book, that my mission is to finally this year bring this book forward into the world. And this is Cosmic Joylight, who is my higher self. And she unified with me in a way that changed everything over this past week. And one of the reasons I was even able to write there's this essay contest going on that I think all y'all should be writing in. There's an essay contest about where and what are we going to be in 2050. And so I sat down by the pool and in the Borrego build magic that we all were in together this past week. And I wrote an essay that is about what Cosmic Joylight is sharing with me of how we're going to get through this over the next 25 years. And so there may be a time to share that here tonight, a little piece of that essay that I really want to bring gratitude to this incredible sacred mission gathering and Tamsin and to the energy that's happening of uplift for each other. I feel it right here in this room. I always do. Whenever I'm here with Omar Shar and Scott and the Global Peace Tribe and Deborah, Eleanor Joy holding it up. We're all holding it up and lifting up each other. And that's, I think, what so much of this is about, John, is how we are uplifting each other into our dreams. So that's a little bit about the Garden of Joy. There's
I want to come in for a moment because it is so important for us to all support each other the way we're supporting Eleanor Joy. And it's important to dance. And so there's two very important things I want to point out. Periodically, Summer Joy does a 24-hour dance-a-thon. Diara, who we're going to hear from in a moment, has participated in it. Yeah. And it's amazing. And I turn it on and I have it on all night long. And when I get up to go to the bathroom, I look and there she is dancing away. And there'll be like 5 or 6 other people at 3 o'clock in the morning with her. It's so cool. So the next time she does a dance-a-thon, and I'm going to be promoting it, and I'm going to be talking about it on this show, you guys participate. The other thing I want to say about the Garden of Joy is let's support it because it's a beautiful thing. And it's a Patreon thing. We support Kristen Hoffman through Patreon. We support Nina Gray through Patreon. I personally also support Summer Joy. I am a Rainbow Dancer member, mind you. And
actually, Actually, you're a cosmic portal activator because you have 2 memberships, and the add-on is you are my cosmic portal activator. I just want to say, which is the first.
That's oh yeah, okay, that's cool because it shows me here as a Rainbow Dancer member.
I know,
So
but you have 2, so it adds up to cosmic portal activator.
that's very cool to know. Thank you.
So grateful.
Well, this is what we want to do. We want to support all of our friends this way, and it's fun. Summer Joy is all about fun. She creates really cool things. So I'm putting it into the chat box where you can learn more about her website and her Patreon. And then I also want to take a moment to really show everybody where they can support Dr. Tamsen's work with Borrego Institute, because this is the future. And what we're doing, we're meeting people that are creating the future. Harry's creating the future for economy, and Dr. Tamsen is creating the future for how we can really be at one with nature. So for those of you watching, thanks to the Sign Network on Facebook, the website is Borrego Institute for Living Design.org. Borrego is spelled Borrego, Borrego Institute for Living Design.org. And make sure that when you go there, everybody at least put in your email address so you can track what she's doing. Because we want to stay in touch with her and all the amazing work that she's doing. So I'm doing that right now, just giving you a moment to show how to do it. And Tamsen, is there a spot on this beautiful website you'd like me to kind of point people to while we're looking at it? And you're muted, dear.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing this. There's a donate button up at the top, but also if you look at join the movement, there's what's going on. So there's the rooms people can rent and come visit. We're not quite there, but in a month or so, we're going to be starting to do that. And then there's the course that's coming up, which is going to be on One World. And so it's this right here, Bring Your Purpose to Life. So you can take the course, the 99 Days of Radical Collaboration. That's free on there. And it walks you through how to declare your purpose and how to articulate that. But then we'll go through this and we'll really help people clarify their purpose, really articulate it well so they can go to work on it and develop their potential and look at paradigm and how they can up level and how we can all work together.
Wow. And are these all animals that are on your property?
Yes, I have bighorn sheep. I have even mountain lions. They're out there somewhere. But
and what kind of mouse is that?
That's actually a fox.
It's a fox. Wow.
Desert kit foxes are so cute.
My God, I thought it was a mouse. It's so adorable. My God.
And they have long, beautiful tails. It's amazing.
Wow. Thank you so much. I'm going to bring John and Harry up one more time so we can thank them. Now we'll come back to some Q&A. We're going to have a little bit of Q&A. Whoops. Wanted to bring everybody up here. So if you have questions, pop them in the chat box. Charles, thank you so much. I really always appreciate your participation. So let's all give some twinkle to this amazing team of people. God's blessings. And we'll be back with a little bit of Q&A. We're almost wrapping up the show. But tonight, we're going to do something kind of special. You know, we are honoring Martin Luther King every show. We're not just doing it once or twice a year. Every show, we're doing something around the spirit and vision of Martin Luther King. And our dear Diara here made a wonderful discovery. And I'm just going to turn it over to you, Diara, to introduce Karen and tell us about tonight's Martin Luther King inspired vision moment.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Scott. Hello, everybody. I'm so privileged. I get to jump around in all the worlds, having been in summer's dance-a-thon on the winter solstice, and then jumping into the One World Symposium that we had over a month ago. This is a photo here. See if I can get my share screen going. I've put half of Karen's bio in our chat, and I'll put the rest in a moment. This was actually in One World. So in January, on the 13th, we had our Saturday night Awakening World, where we were looking at celebrating Dr. King and the many things that were happening that weekend. The next night on the 14th, we all ended up together in this room, and Karen put in the chat a notice that she was going to be singing the next morning, the 15th, Martin Luther King Celebration Day. And one of the things that I put in the chat earlier is that we have a very deep listening for each other in this community. We listen to what each other has to say, and we listen in between as well. And I heard Karen calling us to visit her, and she will be sharing with us more about her experience here. So Karen, are you in the room with us up front here?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So welcome, Karen. Tell us a little bit about your experience with the King family. Karen is a musician, a singer, an activist, an actress, a holistic healer, and so much more.
Okay. I was just going to share that as you can see in my bio, I grew up literally with the civil rights movement. And growing up in the South, as Hallelujah on the Soul was saying earlier, it was not easy in those days for us. My family traveled a lot. So when I met Mrs. King back in 1999, the first time I met her, the first thing I said to her was that, thank you, because when I was growing up, we couldn't just stop at a hotel for the night or just go in any restaurant and eat. We couldn't even go to the bathroom a lot of times at different places. My father would stop, and when it was time to get gas, he would make us all get out of the car, and we would go. He would see if they would let us use the bathroom at that gas station, and if they didn't, we had to get back in the car and move on to another station, and we just kept on going until we found somewhere we could use the bathroom. So that was how we traveled. My mother had to fix a picnic bags with fried chicken and other stuff for us to eat because we couldn't just stop and eat anywhere along the way. And I was in Louisiana, and my grandmother lived in Virginia, so we would make that ride, which was like 17-hour ride. And that was how we had to go. We sometimes have to stop in the middle of the night and take a nap on the side of the road. If we couldn't find a bathroom, we'd have to go up into the woods on the side of the road and use the bathroom. So that was how I grew up. And I grew up literally watching the whole civil rights movement unfold and seeing it on TV. And I never, ever dreamed that I would get to meet any of the King family. And so I had several encounters along the way before I came to Atlanta. I met Ralph Abernathy. He was one of King's closest friends and advisors. I met him when I was a freshman in college. He came to my school and spoke for Black History Week. It was Black History Week at the time. It wasn't even a whole month. And so I was thinking, okay, I'm not going to ever meet any more of them. And then back in 1986, I was flying from Houston to Atlanta to go to a holistic healing conference. And Martin King III was on the plane with me. And I started not to bother him, but then I said I'll probably never see him again, because at that time I had no intention of moving to Atlanta. So I finally got up. I said, I'm just going to not pass up this chance. So I got up and I went and spoke to him, because I had a feeling once I said something, it was going to cause more people to go say something, which is what happened. But I connected with him because I knew the man that sang at his funeral, Robert Williams, was King's roommate at Morehouse. So that was my end to get up and say something to him. And so I've run into Martin quite a few times over the years since I finally moved here. In fact, I just saw him last Saturday at the memorial service for Dexter, his brother Dexter, over at the church. And so, we got to speak again, but I've seen him a number of times over the years since I came here. And one of the things when they had the March in Washington in 1963, I begged my parents to go. We were passing through Washington the day before the march, and they wouldn't. They were like, "No, you got to get back so you can go to school." I was like, "No." I felt it in my soul, even at that early age. I was in third grade, and I knew then, this is something special. So I didn't get to go then. I held that one grudge against my parents all those years. But finally, I was able to go back for the 40th anniversary, and last summer I went back for the 60th anniversary. And so when I was in Houston singing, I used to sing on the program for the Martin Luther King Day each year. And King's nephew, Derek, used to always be the representative for the family that would come to Houston. So I got to see him several times before I moved here. And I'm still thinking at that time I wasn't coming to Atlanta. So I finally got here, and things just unfolded with me being out there, going to marches and rallies and all kind of political meetings. But I got to meet a lot of the key players in the civil rights movement. And one of the things I did back in 2004, I was helping Cynthia McKinney when she was trying to get reelected after she got put out of Congress for a couple of years. And I was on the picket line for about 5.5 months, I think. And her mother told me later we were protesting because of all the negative things they were saying about Black people in the newspapers here. So we protested in front of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution and one of the local TV stations for months. And so that was one of the things that really helped her get reelected, just that little thing that I did. But I met Mrs. King back in 1999 when she started coming up to the office, the medical office where I used to work. And so she would always try to get the last appointment of the day, and I would just stay and check her out. And afterwards, I would get to talk to her quite a bit. So this went on for several years. So it was just really an honor that I was able to sing at the commemorative service. And that came about because I joined a choir here in Atlanta back in the fall, and they had asked us to sing on the program. So I jumped at the chance because I've been watching that commemorative program every year since I came to Atlanta. And I just never dreamed I was actually going to be on the program. So that's been some of the things that had happened. To go back to my childhood, when I was in the 7th grade, they finally decided to start integrating the schools in my area. So I was one of 6 Black students that integrated the school. And that's where I was going when King was assassinated. And so the day after that happened, I was afraid to go to school because I did not know what the white kids were going to do. I didn't know how they were going to act. They didn't know how we were going to act. I think they were just afraid as we were. And then I have just had a lot of things like the movie Green Book, just about everything that's in that movie, those different incidents that happened. I've had many of those same kind of incidents happen in my life. So I did, because we couldn't go to the movie. My mother wouldn't let us go to the movies in my hometown because we would always have to sit in the balcony, and she just refused to let us do that. So the only time we went to a movie was when we went out of town up north somewhere. And so I just told Mrs. King that I just thank you because it just meant so much to when the Civil Rights Act was passed. And we could finally start doing things that a lot of other people just took for granted. So, and as far as my website, I am redoing it. So if you go there, it's pureloveheals.com. But And I chose that name because I just truly believe in the power of love to heal. And that we need so much more of that in the world. And that was one of the main tenets of the civil rights movement. And it just really, I just try to come from a place of love when I deal with people. And, I just want peace and justice for everybody. And just know that everybody is one. There's just too much division in the world right now.
Mhm.
So.
Karen, thank you so much for just being a living direct connection. And I learned something tonight that just thrilled me. Would you be willing to share with our audience what you told me before the show?
Oh, yes. I have been on this show every single time except for twice. I was on the very first one. And then the only 2 times I missed was the first time Marianne Williamson was on. I was just so tired I could not stay awake, but I did go back and watch it later. And and back in October, my class celebrated our 50 years out of high school, so I missed that particular night. But other than that, I have been on every single show. This is like my Saturday night church service. And someone know not to call me on Saturday night. I don't go anywhere else on Saturday night. I'm here with you all.
Karen, that absolutely makes my day. Thank you so much. God bless you. God bless you for the wonderful, wonderful work you're doing. And I look forward to sharing this show with you for at least another 4 years.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you again, Tiara, for kind of making this beautiful connection. And again, what a lovely example of how our Awakening World and Global Peace Tribe family comes together. All right. I was going to start with a video, but that isn't going on. So I'm going to just move right into our Global Peace Tribe announcements. And Christy Michaels, be ready because I'm going to call on you in a moment. For those of you who are living in San Rafael, or I should say the San Francisco Bay Area, there's going to be a really wonderful thing going on soon. Of course, you all know Tangela and Soul Search. They are one of our favorite people that we collaborate with. And of course, we collaborate with Soul Search about once every 6 weeks. And in fact, next week's Soul Search show is going to be what we're doing on the Awakening World. And I'm going to be coming to you live from this event. She's doing an Enlightenment Expo in San Rafael. It's on Saturday and on Sunday. And she's got amazing presenters and speakers and psychics. It's a really, really fun show. I've been to her show in San Rafael and also went to one in LA. And she just has a great time and she brings people in from all over the country. So if you're able to come to San Rafael, that's in Northern California, just north of San Francisco, across the bay from Oakland, come join us. And one of the speaker, presenter, teachers that are going to be happening is me and my good friend Eden Amadora. And we are going to be doing a live event, which is kind of our first launch of what we actually are imagining will eventually become a television show, which we are playfully calling The Wizard and the Priestess. You can guess which one of us is which. Anyway, it's going to be a relationship satsang experience, which means you come and you bring your relationship challenges to us, and she channels her divine feminine wisdom, and I'll offer my thoughts as a 25-year love coach. 25 years I've been love coaching. And we'll answer your questions. And some people come and they ask questions about their relationship. Of course, others like to just watch because really a lot of the knowledge and the wisdom is universal. And we'll be going on Sunday afternoon at 2:00, Sunday afternoon. So join us in San Rafael next week. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I love meeting some of you in person. It's always wonderful to hug people that I've only seen online. So for our next Global Peace Tribe announcement, I'm going to go to our wonderful friend, Christy Michaels. There she is. Hi, Christy.
Hi, Scott. Thank you so much. You know, this has been as usual, another great show, just because the depth and the quality of visioning and connection and humanity that gets expressed. And, you know, I got to hear Barbara Marx Hubbard speak one time, and she was talking about what it takes to have enlightened partnerships. And so I asked her, and she said, well, really, she said, because her relationship was struggling at the time. And she said, you know, really, what we have to do is we have to get together with couples who are authentically exploring the edges of what it means to be in a conscious, loving relationship and find out, how's it going? What are you doing? What's working? What's not working? And I thought that's a great idea. So for years now, every on the partnership number 2-22 on February 22nd, I have been bringing couples together to have that conversation and that discussion about what does it take for us to have an enlightened partnership? Because really, to build a new earth and to launch the new earth, we're going to have to do that. So Scott has graciously consented to come on with his beloved. So you'll get to hear about their wisdom in exploring how they can develop. And then I've got all these great friends of his and ours who are going to share their heartfelt wisdom. So I'm hoping that you'll come and join us and be a part, because really the power couple that's balanced and integrated, it is has a tremendous impact. Like, look at John and Summer. Wow, you guys are spot on. I hope you'll come and join us too. That would be awesome to see you guys. Anyway, I'm just thrilled to be doing this, and nothing makes my heart sing than to bring more joy into the world, which you guys are masters at. So thank you so much. Yeah. Blessed be. And I also want to give a shout out to Karen. Karen is a Renaissance woman. I want you to know she has taken my Gospel of Mary Magdalene classes. And so this woman has a big heart and an open mind. And I was thrilled to see you share, Karen, about all the wonderful things you're up to. Very, very, very cool. So, and one other thought, that, you know, the Martin Luther King has these tenets of what it, you know, it's like the 6 principles. You talk about principles, John, the 6 principles. Was
it's actually 10 principles, and I'm screen sharing it right now. We've actually been sharing just about every other week. We've been sharing these 10 principles.
No. This is on his drmartinlutherking.com website, and it has to do with the mode. I'll get it for you. It's the mode of what he set his business up when he was creating the movement. And principle number 2 was the purpose of nonviolence is to build the beloved community. I was blown away by that, considering how much he was getting beaten up, and that he knew the purpose of nonviolence was to build the beloved community. So thank you, Scott, for all your work in building the beloved community, and John and everybody that's on this call that's doing it, because this is what keeps me going. And I have grandbabies, and I need them to come into a world living in love. So thanks for letting me talk, Scott. I appreciate it. Love to you.
And again, the Enlightened Partners is next Thursday night, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, 9:30 Eastern. And the link is in the chat box, but I'll show you one more time. And you can find it by going to gospelofmarymagdalene.info. gospelofmarymagdalene.info. And I want to just say, you know, humbly, that the most important enlightened partnership is our relationship to what Rumi calls the eternal beloved. Some of us have girlfriends and boyfriends, some of us has husbands and wives, but the true partnership that matters is our partnership with that which has 1,000 names. I like calling it the eternal beloved. And so certainly that's what I intend to talk about during my few minutes that I have on Thursday, is how we can really recognize that if we're in a romantic relationship, we use that to connect to divinity. We use that to connect, and we are sacred mirrors, and we reflect back and forth. So for those of you who are single, it still is just as sacred, if not more, to cultivate your enlightened partnership with life itself. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there.
Absolutely. Thank you.
My pleasure. Karen, I did think you were going to sing, and then time ran out. Would you be willing to? We're going to go to the KES group healing in a moment, but people are clamoring. They want to hear you sing. Would you be willing to share your voice in that way with us tonight?
Yes, I would.
Beautiful. Well, take it away.
Okay. Since it's Love Week, I think I'll do My Funny Valentine.
Nice.
Okay. My funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile with my heart. Your looks are laughable, so unphotographable, yet you're my favorite work of art. Is your figure less than Greek? Is your mouth a little weak when you open it to speak? Are you smart? Don't change your hair for me. Not if you care for me. Stay, little Valentine. Stay. Each day is Valentine. Each day is Valentine. Each day is Valentine's Day. Thank you.
Oh, let's all twinkle her. What a beautiful, beautiful, wonderful way to. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, wonderful. And thank you again, Tiara, for helping to make this happen. Thank you. Well, we are close to the end. I'm going to bring John back up, and Dr. Tamsin and beloved Summer Joy. Actually pinned you. Where's your husband? There he is. And there's Tamsin again. Thank you so much for all that you are doing and all that you're creating, all the work that you're doing for us with AI and helping us to get the good stuff out of it and learn and grow. We pretty much run out of time, but there's a lot of appreciations coming in. And you know, I know that we're all going to continue to be on Unity Earth together and One World together, and let's all make our way out to Borrego Springs. I want to head out there the next time I'm in the desert. I've got friends out there, so in Palm Desert, so I'll come visit. And who knows, maybe we'll have a Global Peace Tribe retreat out there once it gets a little bit larger. Wouldn't that be fun? So, John, any final thoughts you'd like to share?
Well, there's a lot in the works. You know, planning a global powwow of unity and peace with Chief Perry and the Ramapo Lenape, that's Harry's neighborhood, and with World Unity Week and Peace Week. So there's a beat pulse to what we're doing. And whether it's embracing indigenous wisdom or coming to understand these technologies, it's a learning journey. And if we can, like Patricia reminds me, it's not just intrapersonal holiness for interpersonal wholeness, but that really starts with us and Creator, and then with ourselves, and then with each other. So these are new patterns we're learning. And I continue and promise to stay open. And I really want to learn on the journey by walking the path. We're making it visible. And
Yeah.
grateful to you, Scott, for your generous spirit, and you're always caring for everyone and leading the way, showing that that's what it's all about. Love wins. So thank you, brother.
Absolutely. And by the way, hallelujah, Anasuya, I brought you back up on camera just so you know. We're looking at you and Omashar and Charles and Dr. Tamsin and Harry and Summer Joy and of course, John. Thank you all, everybody, for your beautiful contributions tonight. Another wonderful, wonderful show. And thank you, Ayada and Carol, for what you wrote about coming every week for 4 years. That makes my day. And, you know, we now close our Saturday night shows with a KES group healing. You know, we have so many beautiful communities we work with: One World, Sign Network, Unity Earth, and of course, the Twin Ray community. And one of my absolute favorite Twin Ray people is here. She was the very first member of the Twin Ray community that I met when I came to stay with them my very first time. And this is Maggie. I think this is her third or fourth time doing KES group healing with us. She's right here in Ashland. Just got back from Costa Rica, flew from Costa Rica to LA, where she did the Conscious Life Expo, came up to Ashland. I've been driving her car. Thank you very much, Maggie. And welcome to another Awakening World. It's been a beautiful show. And I'm so glad we get to conclude it with you leading a KES group healing for us.
Oh, thank you so much, Scott. Love you so much. And so grateful to be here with you all. We can dive right into it since it is getting a little late. We'll just do a mini group session. And for those who don't know what the Christic energy system is, it is a system that works with the 12 main karmas of the soul, and it helps you merge with your future self with that aspect that is whole and complete, and to help clear those karmic samsaras that aren't serving. And so since this session, Scott's show tonight was about the earth and working with our relationship to the earth, I was thinking we could do a little session on working with Mother Earth and our receptivity tonight. And so all you have to do is lay down and receive. You are also welcome to sit in meditation, but if you would like to get in a comfortable position, please do, and we can get started. So I invite you, if you're in the space, to just lay down, and if you, sorry, just got a message. Yes, at the end, music would be great. And so, yeah, let's get started. And we'll start with a guided meditation and a prayer, and then we will go into just letting the energy come forth, and all you need to do is receive. So with that being said, I hope you found a nice comfy spot, and let's just all take a collective breath together, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And let's just do 2 more of those. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Last one. All the way down to the belly, releasing any thoughts. And big open mouth exhale, coming fully into your body, calling all parts and pieces of you to be here and now in your center column of light. And let's just take our awareness down to our heart space, bringing our attention to the unified field, seeing ourself from the field, from that unified field of awareness. And see if you can even see your toroidal field around your body expanding. And we'll ground down to the earth. So send your grounding cord down to the crystalline core, the center core of Mother Gaia, and share your love with her. Send your love down to the earth. And feel that love come back up. And then we'll connect to the sky, to the heavens. And so see a ball of light going up your center power column of light through your crown, up to the heavens, up to the sun, to the great central sun. And feel the great central sun's light coming down, down the sky, down your crown, down your spine, all the way to your heart. Feeling that connection to the earth and to the sky. Taking a few breaths in this awareness. Then we'll surround this space with a white wall of flame, of protection. A white wall, a flame of transmutation. Setting the intention to release all that no longer serves and to receive all that we are ready to receive. As we call in the Holy Mother and Holy Father presence to overlight this healing and holding container. All your guardians and guides, elementals, thanking the elements of the space for holding us. And your healing guides of the highest light and love to be present in this space. Beautiful. And so we're just going to do a little sweep of this field, placing the Christic spiral, Christic energy at your feet. And you can feel it come up your feet, up your hips, up your heart, through your throat chakra, through your crown. And we're just going to do this a few times. So feeling your feet relax, feeling your calves relax, feeling your knees soften, your hips soften, your lungs and chest completely soften, your heart soften, seeing through the eyes of your heart this session and throughout your days, and all the way through your third eye, feeling your forehead relax, your ears and your crown. And just take note and awareness of your breath, allowing yourself to breathe deeply. Feeling your cells start to smile as you allow yourself to receive this relaxation, to receive this light. As your cells smile, your heart starts to smile. Beautiful. And we'll go into a memory. And so, as we have this session about relationships with the earth, we're going to open ourselves up to the divine feminine, to Mother Gaia, and to really receive her love. And so, let's call forth a time and just take a moment to see a situation in your head where you may be pushing or creating a force, forcing something, the opposite of receiving. And so we just want to bring that forth in our mind's eye, in our body, in our cells, anytime that there was pushing or forcing, whether it was in a relationship or a project. Just bring that forth. And notice what you feel. There may be anger, irritation, aggravation, or maybe not. And as you bring up this situation, I want you to put it in an energy ball. And then I want you to watch like it's a hologram in that energy ball. You may smile at yourself in whatever situation it is. And as you have this situation in your energy ball, we're going to release it to the earth. And we're going to give it to Mother Earth for transmutation. And so I want you to see yourself saying thank you to this situation, receiving its lessons. And I want you to give it to the earth and see this energy ball with this situation go into the earth as Mother Gaia takes this situation and transmutes it through love. And we call forth the Divine Mother to overlight and to help release any resistance related to the situation. And we call forth your grandmothers and see yourself being hugged by your grandmothers and set the intention to release it not only for yourself, but for your grandmothers and grandfathers. As we call forth the power of the cosmic Christ to release all that is ready to be released throughout your past, present, future, and genetic template, releasing all that is ready to go back into the earth, to be gently given. Just notice how this feels in your body to give this. You may feel great joy or even pain, accepting whatever your body is telling you. However it is your body wants to release. As we call forth the Christic light to go into those places in your memory, in your mental body, your emotional body, your physical body, where there was release that's not serving, and to fill those places with the cosmic Christic light. And we'll take the next 10 minutes to fully relax and receive this energy, receive this love from the Divine Mother, from the Mother Earth. As we become lighter, so too can the earth. As we release our density, we help Mother Gaia ascend. As we release our judgments, our fears, we help her. Taking the time, the next few minutes, to just breathe and receive. you're feeling expanding. Deep, deep breath into the heart, feeling that heart smile, and your field expanded. I invite you to ask for any messages from the earth. Ask to receive any visions that would be beneficial about the earth, your purpose on earth. Just allow yourself to receive any visions, to receive any guidance. And give your gratitude for any messages. Give your gratitude to the earth and that we get to walk on her body. Giving gratitude for your body and your heartbeat. With such love, grace, and honor, we seal this mini session and we give thanks to the Holy Mother, Holy Father, the Cosmic Christ, all the angelics and guardians that assisted in this healing and holding. And we ask that the energies stay with the receiver for as long as beneficial for their journey. Aho, amen, and so it is.
Thank you so much, beloved Maggie. Thank you.
Of course, thank you so much, Scott. Show, and thank you for gathering these beautiful souls.
Thank you, 52 people still with us tonight. I love that. Maggie, are you providing solo sessions for people?
I do. Yes, I do solo sessions, and I'm happy to post my website. They're a bit different than group sessions. You can always go really deep in a solo session with anything that one is working through, or, unconscious aspects too.
Can you put the website and how people can contact you into the chat box?
Yes, my website is christiclight.com, and just put it in the chat box.
I'm going to bring it up real quickly. Here it is. So yeah, it's a beautiful website. I was trying to find it. I couldn't find it. christiclight.com. And this is where you can learn all about the amazing work that Maggie and her colleagues provide. It's spelled Christic, Krystic, light, LIGHT.com, christiclight.com. So for all of you who are watching on Facebook, and that's where I am right now. I am where that photo was taken. Well, I'm not outside, I'm inside. That's at the chateau. So thank you so much, Maggie. You always just bring so much beauty and love, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you very soon.
Yes, I would love that. Thank you so much, Scott. And thank you everyone for joining. Have such a beautiful evening, and notice your dream state and drink lots of water.
And by the way, Maggie will be back on this show 2 weeks from tonight singing. We get to hear her sing. She sang once before on the show and it was wonderful. We're doing a whole Twin Ray collaboration reopening of the Haven show 2 weeks from tonight, featuring Maggie and her beautiful music. So we'll look forward to seeing you then too as well.
Yay. Thank you. Good evening.
I want to remind everybody, hopefully we will see you all tomorrow. I'm going to bring John up one more time. John, just for anybody who came in late, give people the details one more time about tomorrow.
We've got 2 follow-up sessions following up to Awakening to Humanity's Sacred Mission. And ET times is 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. And in One World, you can get all the invites, the links for the events. And we are breaking some new ground. So don't miss it. Be there. There'll be smart recordings if you can't. We're doing all these best practices, really how to unite and turn what we have into what we need.
Mhm.
Thank you again, Scott. It's been fabulous. So glad to be a part of this beautiful, beloved community.
And I'm going one more time into where people can see it. It's oneworld.earth. Search through the Beloved Community Convergence, and this is where you can see what's happening tomorrow. Starting at 7 o'clock a.m. is the first one, then one at 11 a.m., and then one at 3 p.m., yeah?
Yep. Yeah, no, we've got those 2 sessions. One's just a carryover of the entire week. You go there. If you have any questions, reach out to me.
Okay, great. And you can find John, best way to reach you, Facebook Messenger?
Messenger's fine, or in One World. That's what we got for.
All right. All right. Oh, there I am. John is screen sharing me from somewhere.
Just heart sharing you. I'm just sharing you wherever I can.
Oh, man, I appreciate that a lot. Thank you so much, John. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Be there.
All right. Take care, everybody. Have a beautiful, beautiful evening. Sleep well. Get up early for what John's doing. I'll see you there. And I'm going to go to gallery view one more time, everybody, so you can wave goodbye. And so much love to each and every one of you. See you tomorrow.
Everyone, thanks, Christine.
Throwing that